Hi, everyone. Welcome to Chair Yoga and Meditation. Today, I'm going to introduce a detox flow. So it's going to be pretty active, and we'll start in a standing position just to give you a heads up. Uh, After our transition, after we go through our initial transitional time, we will be starting standing up. I won't use for that part of it, there will be just the use of the chair the way you feel you need to be positioned nearby. But we'll get to that in all good time. But I'm just kind of excited to introduce this detox flow. It's aimed at working through the lymphatic system. So you have a real healthy and vigorous lymphatic system, which is the detox, the way our body processes eliminating the toxins that are built up with the normal processes of our various systems. So enough about that. So here we are. Let's begin, as we often do, bringing our block between our legs and coming forward on the chair. So you're just noticing that you're sitting differently, more intentionally, and let's just start using the word with more awareness of your body. And try then to allow yourself the transition, which includes tuning out the activities in the space that you occupy. So if there's other people around you or within the same household that are still kind of moving about, that you've set aside this time, this transitional time to sort of disengage from that and bring yourself fully aware of this space you've created. And I'm sure you've noticed the language um, fairly regularly now that I am very taken by this space around us, to be aware of that. And creating kind of by your full awareness to it that we've created, and all of a sudden it just feels this way, is that it's sacred and that it is personal, right? It's like it's for you. So you start to become aware of right alignment of the body. So our shoulder carriage lines up with the hips, up and down. That's a stacked set of joints there that we want to maintain. So bringing yourself up in right alignment in that regard, but also slip in some awareness of the pelvis in your chair seat there, that you feel like from right to left, and then again left to right. In terms of body weight, it is balanced. Use some strength of the belly wall now. If you haven't already engaged that, be sure to include that as you sit in a place of right alignment. That's part of the recipe, that we're going to use a belly strength, pulling in and activating through the abdominal wall. But I've named several things, but they're not difficult, and it's very easy for the body mind to make these connections, right? We just layer and layer those awarenesses and those intentions. That really is what's happening. We start to claim and intend to hold ourselves in right alignment. Now notice, if you haven't already, that you're breathing. You're noticing that you are breathing. And slow that process down so that it feels like you're purposefully taking deeper breaths and you feel caught up. Your breath feels like all caught up. Sometimes we just get a beat behind, or even a few beats behind, and it's just like we're kind of panting a little bit or just a little dysregulated there. So we just want to catch up with the breath so it's normally functioning and it feels easy and natural for you. But the shift, of course, is that you're aware. You're aware that your body is breathing. And I've grabbed hold of this and embraced it for years now, that we are being breathed, that this is not a function we facilitate it all. It's part of the life force energy. It's part of just the aliveness that we experience. Now we're going to use the Ujjayi breath because I like to use a particular breath practice. And eyes closed if you haven't done that yet. That Ujjayi breath is the whisper sound. It's kind of throaty, like as if you were trying to fog up a mirror, that sound that is involved with that. Take a normal breath in through your nose and let the Ujjayi breath come out of your mouth, just so gentle open of your lips, but you hear, you're pushing it out like a ha sound. But you can leave your mouth almost closed, but just inhale normally, exhale like the sound of the ocean. Once you found that again, you're reminded of that. Oh, yeah, I know that breath. That's that Ujjayi breath. Relax into it and create. If it feels like you need to choose this, create a space at the end of that exhale. Or for you, it might be, yeah, there's always a space there. I'm just going to notice it. So taking that breath in through the nose, the sound of the ocean of the Ujjayi breath blows it out. And then there's a pause. And now our awareness includes the pause before you inhale. And again, let it be easy. If it in any way feels like it interrupts your breath and it somehow becomes more stressful, when we don't want that at all. So just realign to the breath the way it feels natural for you. And if you can include awareness of that pause, I encourage you to do that. Make one change, one simple change, and that is don't open your mouth for the exhale. See if it's possible to still hear that Ujjayi sound with your mouth closed. And just notice what's involved, where you feel it, notice it, how you're doing it. Just curious. And let the breath now take care of itself so that you can become aware, bringing your full awareness to the way your body feels as a result of several minutes now of breathing in this way. How does this make your body feel? There's no right or wrong. It's just noticing we added a breath practice in addition to our transitional right alignment kind of movement and structure. How does this feel in the body now that I've layered all of those things together? And see if you can notice not only how it feels literally in your body, because I'll just give you my experience with that is I kind of hold an underlying tension or kind of angst, I guess, in my belly quite a bit. That's kind of a common experience for me. Just a little bit of an edge there, and it's felt in my belly like anxious, just a bit. And that goes away with breath awareness almost always for me. You might have something different, like you kind of always hold a little something in your shoulders and your neck. It's just a little bit of tightness there, just a habit. It's just kind of the way you hold yourself. See if that is still there for you, if it's changed at all in any way. Open up your hands into that open palm position, that gesture of receptivity. Palms are open to receive, laying on your lap. And remind yourself as you feel that experience of hands open that you're here to receive the benefits and blessings of this practice. And then you might name something for yourself, what you would like. And now let's just go with our basics. I'm here to receive strength. I want to be stronger in my body, flexibility, better balance. You like the idea of more vitality, a vibrant, healthy body. You like the idea that, you're developing a more alert and focused mind, a more loving and compassionate heart. And there's an overall sense, my favorite, of lightness of being. So the rhythm of that breath in your body as you hold yourself in right alignment. Perhaps you have to utilize that image that there's a wall behind you that you can back yourself into. So the back of the head is helping you to stay aligned in that way, that the spine is fully aligned from the top of the head all the way to the base of the spine. And then I'm going to offer up a prayer that I often use, whether I say it aloud or not, as I prepare for our time together. May what needs to be said is said. May what needs to be heard is heard. May what needs to be released is released. And may what needs to be and can be embraced is embraced today. Beautiful. All right. We're going to move to standing. So take your time as you maybe you have to resituate your chair a little bit to clear your space a bit. I'm going to just be in front of my chair. But if you prefer to be somewhere in relationship to it so you could always touch it, so maybe you step behind the chair, you'll know what to do as we get moving. So we're going to start with, this is called, again, the detox flow. So it's a lymphatic drainage kind of thing. We're going to start, though, with some of the familiar movements of the spine. So take a little squatty action here. Your feet are parallel to each other. There's space between it. If, holding the block between your legs helps you to, remember how to keep your legs positioned in that way and have those inner thighs engaged, not a bad idea. And we're going to just start moving like we're doing cow and cat while we're doing this. So start to really tuck your tail, rounding through that low back, and then release that tail to lift up and keep moving in that way. So inhale is lifting up into the extended spine. Exhale is tucking the tail and rounding the back body into that cat position. So we can do a cat and cow standing up in this way. Now, if you're finding that's not very accessible to you at all and your chair is nearby, you can just find your way back into the chair and do this movement with the chair as your normal support, your choice. Couple more. Keep moving. Really try to exaggerate the movement of the spine, the movement of the tilt and tuck of your tail. And let's come all the way to standing and just find your mountain pose. So feet are parallel. You're getting strong in the belly wall, arms alongside the body with our palms facing forward. Let's offer a soft bend of the knee. And then use the wall, it's the imaginary wall that you're backing your head into. I want you to breathe like the pelvis does the breath. So you're inhaling like you're filling up your pelvis. And when you exhale, you're driving that experience down into your feet. So I'm using my hands to illustrate it. That's not something you need to be doing. It's just breathing through the pelvis, like it's filling yourself up. And you're just imagining that's coming into the pelvis. And then the exhale is driving you down through the legs, down to the ground where your feet are. So just move in that way in your mountain pose. I should say, breathe in that way in your mountain pose. You might even choose to use that Ujjayi breath again. to really emphasize the exhale as it's moving down your legs. Two more of those kind of breathing, that kind of breathing. It's two. And when we come back now, we're going to bring our legs together. It's a similar squat, but legs are closer together so you can start moving your knees around. So we're coming into some joint movement. As you circle your knees around, kind of notice, keep your gaze down. You don't need to look at the screen for this. So keep your gaze down at the floor and move your knees in a circular way. I seem to always start with a clockwise direction, but can you feel how it also is moving your ankles? So we're covering some good ground here. Ankles getting stronger and more flexible, and the knees having that same kind of lateral movement. Now change the direction of your circle. If you're holding your hands down at your, on your thighs and knees, try to bring your hands more to the fleshy part, not so much that you might be putting extra strength or strain in your kneecap or anything. So just sort of cautionary thing about how you're holding your hands. Beautiful. And then let's come back to standing in our mountain. Strong belly wall. And speaking of walls, back your head against one. Let's try a side bend. So arm is going to just stay right next to your leg and thigh, and let the other arm reach up and overhead. Straight arm, put a mitten hand on, and then slide one hand down the pant leg while the other arm reaches overhead. And imagine you're really paying attention now to your ears. So it's like the imagine part is like as if you're trying to listen, and you're just noticing the way you're holding your head, and your awareness is more focused on where are my ears in this process. Now see if you can deepen the breath with it moving in and out of the nose. Part of it is out of the mouth, however it is, so that you're surrendering. You feel like each breath allows you a little more letting go. Take that top arm and let it carry you up into your kind of neutral position. Let's do some shoulder rolls here. Maybe that includes moving the head. Catch up with your breathing in case that got out of whack. Let's do side two. This one is my dicey side. So remember, I'm still recovering from my injury. So you might not look the same for what I'm doing. This one actually works pretty well. And be mindful of the way you're holding your head. And our mindfulness comes from how our ears are. Where are our ears in relationship maybe to that top arm? That ear, that arm maybe can, if you can, direct it so it's just passing right past your ear would be great. Each breath allows us to let go and let gravity give us a nice side bend. I like to keep that lower hand down and touching my leg. I think it's a nice source of grounding to the body. And we're going to come all the way up, let that arm swing up and bring us back to standing. Let's do a couple of shoulder rolls. Take a wide stand with me now. So just take a wide open stance. Feet are parallel to each other. And then open up your arms into a T. So when we turn to look to our right, that means we're going to keep those arms in the T, but we got to lift that foot up so the toes pointing in the direction of our turning. So when we turn to go this way, we want the foot to have moved as well. It's just a pivot through your heel. Come back, we just bring the foot back with us, and then lift up your toes so that you can do the same thing on the other side. The whole time, the arms are in a T, unless you've got something else in mind. So you might be doing something different with your arms. You could hold them in this sort of that cactus shape, the goddess shape I like. or some different way that you have come into, some arm movement that you like and you think, I think this would work well here. But in the meantime, the common ground is this little wide open twist, and that we're accommodating that twist by moving our foot so that our knee is happy. One more on each side. Beautiful. Let's inhale, palms together overhead. Exhale, bow at your heart with hands in the prayer position. Inhale, back up. Exhale all the way down and around. Let's do 2 more of those back strokes. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Up and down. All right, let's change our stance. It's a little bit closer together. We're going to start with what's just called some hops. We do it all the time. Glue your feet to the floor and just feel like, well, actually, I'm going to change that. Instead of gluing your feet to the floor, I don't know why, some reason I'm thinking side view is better, that you sort of feel that your heels have popped up. Yeah, for sure. You want to let your heels pop up a little when you're doing this. So it's that shake, shake, shake feeling, and that you're actually lifting up those heels and thumping them on down. This is the first in the series that we're calling the detox flow. So just thumping that out and let your body sort of release, pushing stuff out. The second one we're calling the body wave. You might need to play with how far apart your feet are for this. Again, I'm turning because I think you'll see the wave better from a side view. It looks like this. You're going to just move your chest like as if your body, is like the Gumby, Remember that figure that looked like this? It just sort of waves around and loose. And there's this wave through your body, including the drop of your head down a little bit. So just feel the wave of the body. Now change the direction of your wave. That takes a little doing. Your mind says, oh, wait a minute, I just can't figure that one out. See if you can find a new direction of the wave. Excellent. And then let's come back to a neutral position. Make sure you're caught up in your breathing. This is the one I'm not real sure how well my arm will do with this. So if you see me pulling away, that's just me making my adjustment. But we've done this a lot of times where we're just going to start circling the arms. Do this at a pace that works. We're not trying to speed through it. We don't need to. If you find it fun to pick up the pace and you have all that energy you'd love to expend, then that's great. But know that you don't have to, as we're doing these alternate arm swings like a Ferris wheel movement. Change the direction of that. Beautiful. And back to a neutral position. Any movement your body needs, reset the body. Anytime you need to, whether I have queued that up or reminded you to do it or not, anytime you need to reset the body. Now we're going to do some twisting, which I'm going to say, let's just have our feet a little wider than hips distance apart. And it's kind of a punch. It's like you're kind of twisting to go one way, but your arms help you by reaching out. I say keep your arms at shoulder height. Don't go high. Don't go low. Kind of keep in a medium position. And just twist through the trunk of the body. Pace is up to you. So you might do half as many as somebody else, but that's the best pace for you. Okay, let's reset the body. Any new movements you need to introduce to kind of shake that loose and definitely catch up with your breathing. This next one is called dead arms. And it's just that you're letting your arms just sort of flip flop. This is how I saw it done, was more like, you're twisting and letting the arms just flip flop. So kind of take a moment to get yourself accustomed to letting go. You're not trying to direct your arms. You're just letting them limply move side to side, like dead arms. And back to a neutral position. Catch up with the breath. Actually, I got to get a drink of water. Take a time out here. Next one looks like the golf swing. So you're just going to reach up and then come down. Let's stay with one side at a time. Both arms are swinging up. And notice what's going on with the foot. You lift up a heel, then you drop it back down. You lift up that heel, and drop them down. Let's go the other way. So you're going to change your foot will change, of course. Lift up that heel, come down. Swing it up. So if you're finding you can do quite a lot of twisting in this, that's all the better. That's all part of this lymphatic detox flow. Excellent. Last time. And all the way down. We're going to take a wide angle. Feet are parallel. This one from PE class, where we're going to take a hand and reach over to touch the opposite side toes. So you can do it with arms in a T. You could do it with your hands at the waist, and you simply reach down and reach down. So a couple ways you can do it, but it alternates, bringing a hand to the toe. Keep your eyes open. And more challenge would be a T shape with your arms. So your arms are very active the whole time. A little less active would be hands at the waist, and you're just alternating. Let's touch each toe one more time. Come back to center. Kind of heel toe, heel toe. Try that again. Go wide with the heel toe movement. And meet me with just about a little wider than hips distance apart. Your heels are in, your toes are out. This is our last one. It includes a squat that you're going to just sort of, it kind of reminds me of our open and close that we do from a seated position, where we close up, we open the knees and close up. It kind of reminds me of that. But the legs stay wide open. You're not going to close that up, but you're coming in and out. Just a squat. If this hurts your knees, don't do it. Just skip it. If you can squat and pull your body weight back away from your knees, that'll help a lot for those of you who are participating. Last one. Back to neutral. Heel toe, heel toe. Okay. Oh, you know what? I forgot one. I forgot one, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to add it right now. And you know what's pretty good? Actually, this was all the way it was supposed to be. I'm going to get my chair where I can really know it's right by me, so I know I've got that support, so that you can do some high knees. So it starts wide. Maybe you have one hand on the chair and you're just taking a bent knee up. So it could be both. You could be using the T-shape position of your arms, or one hand on the chair. Let's just hold that knee up. Hold it like as if you just put it on a footstool. So you flex your foot. And make sure you feel like your hips are squared. You don't have that leg off center. You're holding that leg up, framed within the hips and the shoulders. And see if you can now let go of any connection to the chair. And you've got one foot up in the air there. Both feet to the floor. Shake that out a bit. I'm going to relocate my chair. Let's get that other side. So the other leg is coming up. Again, you can do it with opening wide and then bringing up, and you're just kind of, it's like you're slapping a lot and coming in. That's how it was called, is a slap in this process that I found. Or, like I said, one hand can always stay on the chair because that's just better for you. Okay, let's hold that one for our balance pose. Put your foot like as if you just stepped onto a footstool. Steady. Find your drishti. Stare at something to help stabilize. And then release your hands from any connection to the chair, any amount at all. Maybe it's one breath that you hold it. You do one full breath cycle and then you're done. That's fine. That's all good. And release. Place the chair in such a way that you have access to the seat of the chair. That was very clumsy because I can't use this arm, so I'm just saying. All right, so we're using the seat of the chair, and I'm going down on my elbows and forearms. You might have your hands there because we're doing downward dog, so you do it your way. I'm going to use forearms and elbows. You know how to do this. Your feet are just about hips distance apart. Stretch through the back of your legs. Push your feet down into the floor. Feel your toes making an imprint. Steady that breath so you're noticing the fullness of the inhale and the release of the exhale. Walk yourself toward the chair. Squat a little bit and bring yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae so there's a lot of roundness of the back. Nice and easy. Back to mountain pose. Catch up with your breath here. And if you can, close your eyes if you're comfortable with that experience of standing in mountain pose with eyes closed. Let's use that as a way to connect with our breath and really connect with our felt experience now. A lot of vitality, right? I mean, we were moving, consistently for 20 minutes. Just feel the vitality that created within you, this flow of life force. When you're ready, make your way to seated. Stay forward of the chair so you're not into the backrest. And let's cross right leg over left, right in the center, crossing legs. So we bind our legs together. Take a moment now to balance in your pelvis. Now that you've crossed over and, resituated, now that you feel that from one butt cheek to the other, the body weight is well distributed, feels balanced to you. Top leg governs which direction we turn. So the top leg says, I guess we're going this way. So the upper body moves in that direction. I was too close to my backrest, so I scoot up. I say stuff like that, like you wouldn't just automatically do it, but who knows? Some people just get real literal about things. And I just want you to remember there's times when you just have to sort of shimmy around and reposition and find a better route. Trying to find a verticality of the spine. And you've by now done enough of these twists to know if you want to use the chair for support, you're going to hold on to some portion of the chair. Or if you kind of like the idea of using your body parts to wrap yourself around into that supported way that we found. I'm taking advantage of the chair and deepening the breath. Full breath in, followed by a full breath out. And make that inhale signify something you're trying to draw in and tract into your body, a more vitality, and releasing that which no longer serves us. So we're trying to let go. That's the whole idea of this detox. Let go of that which needs to be released. And some of this could be thoughts, feelings, and thoughts on an emotional level. Let's unwind the head first, and then the shoulders and the arms. And from here, we're going to come into figure 4. So we just going to take that foot in closer toward the crease and do some massaging of your whole leg and foot, balancing in the pelvis, because when we hike this up, it does change things the way it feels. So being aware that you want to maintain that balance in the pelvis. Eventually, I want you to hold on to the shin, just sort of get your hands there to hold on to your shin so you can pulse forward and back. Let the chest or the heart move forward and back. Flex this foot so it's very active. You can feel your toes reaching towards your shin, much more active as we just pulse forward and back. So it's kind of rocking. But your head isn't the one that's going to pull you forward. Remember that. It's the chest, it's the heart space. One little additional challenge here when we come back up, coming back into your neutral position. Let's take the opposite arm. So if we got this leg up, we want the opposite arm up. And this is my bum arm. So I'm holding it. I'm making just a fist and going to keep it up like that. Sometimes I tell you to touch your shoulder. So you choose, because it's just this twisting action now for a crunch. We're going to bring the elbow. I'm going to hold on to the chair with one arm and let this elbow now draw toward the knee. Kind of smooth it out now so you can feel where you're inhaling and you can feel where your exhale shows up. Last time, hold it though. Hold your twist. So you've got your elbow down there. Now see if you can turn your head, kind of managing the way you're holding your head for a full breath in and out. And then we're going to release it all. Just release it and get that foot to the floor. Reset the body. If there's anything now your body needs to do to reset, this would be the time to do that. When we come to side 2, it just means we're going to cross that leg on top. So the new leg crosses on top, centering yourself, balancing in your pelvis. You do need to be a little on the front side of the chair. And we're taking our twist the new direction now. So some of you might take your arms and take a big old swing to come over. I often have us come into twists in that way. Again, I'm choosing a less is more for me for a while. So you come into that twist the way you feel like is just right for you. Find the verticality of your spine. You might feel yourself leaning. So when you catch that, that's great. You can make an adjustment. That's a good thing to notice. Now let's deepen the breath. So we notice the fullness of our inhale and the full release of the exhale. So what is it you're inhaling, drawing into you? And what is it you'd like to release and let go? It may simply be the breath. Nothing really comes to you. That's okay. But sometimes it can be very symbolic for us, and we can really use this to our advantage to feel balanced in all ways of our life. We're going to unwind the head and just turn the head and keep the body in the twist. Yeah, and then the shoulders and the arms. And now we're ready for the figure 4. So we're going to bend that knee and draw that heel up toward the crease of your leg on that side and see about balancing again in the pelvis now that you've hiked up that leg. The foot on the floor is important. That's your standing leg. It's really the very foundation of this. And we're massaging. I bet you're already well into that. We're massaging. That's how we start. The foot's going to be flexed. Your toes are going to draw towards your shin. We're going to hold on to the shin. Keep your elbows drawing in towards your waist. And then we move forward and back. And you're going to have to retrain yourself every time your face and head want to do it. So you come forward and back with the awareness that it's your chest, the heart space that's rocking you forward and coming back. And there's a rhythm to your breath that you could notice. Last time, rocking forward and back. And do our little side twisting thing. I'm holding one hand onto the chair and twisting over. So elbow is coming to this inner knee. Any way you want to hold yourself, hold your body in a way to facilitate this, just create what is your most supportive way to access this movement. I don't know about you, but I have discovered in both of these twisting actions the tightness in my hip. So it's certainly accessing that. And let's say loosening it. I think this movement is going to go a long way to loosening that up. We need to hold it now. So next time you bring your elbow in toward that inner knee, hold it, hold your body and manage the way you're holding your head. Your hand does not have to continue to touch that shoulder. You could just be sort of wrapping yourself into this a little more. So use your creativity here. Let's deepen the breath. And we're going to unwind from that now. Back into a neutral position. We'll get both feet to the floor. Take a wide angle and let's circle around. Really get your pelvis moving now. So the pelvis is doing the hula hoop. But let the upper body come along for the ride. So the upper body is going to want to move too. We're going to let that happen. But we've really got the pelvis moving, into that circular way. We got to change the direction also. So a new mind-body connection and letting the upper body have a ride. Just take you, you're going to take it on a ride with you. Can you find your block? Let's get a hold of that block and put it between the legs, right up between your thighs, not in the lower legs, but I think this far. And holding onto the back of the chair, you'll tilt back. This is a favorite of mine. I've been using it all the time. So we're just going to lift up. This can be done. There's a pose called the boat pose, which is a great abdominal strengthener, squeezing the block and lifting your legs. Or you can just keep repeating the movement, just lifting up and letting that be your workout. Lifting and holding and moving various ways. The arms can come into play here. Just create what you can. Squeeze the block, use your belly strength. Manage the weight of your head. If there's any strain, then you want to change that. Change what you're doing if you're feeling like your neck is straining to keep your head held. All right. Let's lose the block and come into our seated mountain pose. So we're not into the backrest just yet. We've got our arms alongside the frame of the chair. Feel your feet making an imprint. Again, I want you to breathe into the pelvis and down through the legs as you exhale. Fill up your pelvis with your inhale. And let the exhale move down the legs and into the soles of the feet. Excellent. Inhale with me, palms together overhead. Inhaling. Exhale, bow at the heart. Inhale up. Both arms are straight up. Straight arms, straight legs. So we're just going to kick a leg up, arms. Now let's do this very gently. This isn't going to be fire. We don't have fire in the belly now. We're moving into our winding down. So we're going to just stretch like a full body stretch with the arms up and then give that leg a kick up there. Inhale is up. Exhale is when arms come down to meet that leg. We're going to meet with arms in the air, feet to the ground. Can you find your pelvis now? Breathe into the pelvis and down through the legs. Inhale though. Exhale. Can you also open the heart? See if we can add that together. Inhale, we feel ourselves in the pelvis. Exhale, as we open the heart, our body, it's just like the whole flood of exhale is moving through the body. Inhaling up, exhaling down through the whole body as you open up your heart. Palms together overhead. Inhaling, exhale, bow at your heart. Inhale up. Exhale, take your back stroke to come out of that. And now it's time to set up for Shavasana. So some of you are grabbing a second chair and setting that up. Some of you are moving to your recliner or a different setup for yourself. Here's your time. We're moving into Shavasana. As you find yourself getting situated, be sure to take advantage of all the support you can get. You want your whole body supported if you could. So you're really taking advantage of the fullness of your chair seat, the backrest of that. And if there's any comfort items that you'd like to have with you, this is the time to apply that. And don't hesitate to get really comfortable, that you sort of make it a thing. You know, you like to put on your shawl around your shoulders, or you put some socks on, or there's just certain rituals that you've developed. I love those. I love that. I think it is a beautiful way to show yourself compassion and love. I love it. I love doing that. Notice how your breath has just started to simmer down. Just sort of, it's coming home to you, coming home to the silence, stillness, and space that we set aside in each and every class for meditation. And there's a quieting of the mind. There's a beautiful, grateful experience of a quieter mind. It's not without effort. We have techniques. We use our techniques to quiet the mind as a favor. You know, it's like, this is how much I love you. I am going to help you quiet down. Find the fullness of your inhale by just using that mantra, in, and the fullness of your exhale, out. The mantra, in and out. Breathing in, breathing out. Your own rhythm that you found, and you're just identifying it to comfort your mind, comforting your mind with a mantra. And the payoff is, when the mind is happy like that, is not all angst ridden, the body, of course, benefits hugely from that kind of regulation. Breathing in and out. Let that breath be as it needs to be for you. Trust that. I'm going to breathe in and out of my nose. I don't know how I'm breathing. I'm just breathing. All good. Pay attention to the in and the full out of the breath. Let's change that mantra. Deep and slow. Use those words. Inhale deep. Exhale slow. Relax your tongue. Relax your facial muscles. Relax those shoulders. If there's any part of your body that has a natural inclination to sort of grip, kind of protect you, puts the guard up, go there lovingly. Offer this breath. And then this one. And one more. See if you can notice again that there's a space after the exhale. See if you notice that. Or that you're willing to create it. Create just a brief space between your exhale and the new and next inhale. It's very brief. So if it feels like it's too much, it doesn't feel comfortable, you almost feel afraid of it. And don't introduce that at all. Release that notion by just simply relaxing into your breath as your breath is. It feels good and right to you. Breath and awareness. That's where we are right now. In the body with breath and awareness. That is an environment for healing. That is an environment for healing. Breath and awareness felt in your body. Deep and slow is our mantra. Breathing deep, exhaling slow. I introduce the loving kindness meditation with just a little bit different notions, blessings that we're going to offer. Remember, the loving kindness meditation is one that's offered first to yourself, a blessing. We offer a blessing then to the people that we would consider our circle, our family, our friends, the people we know and love. And the last circle is to include everyone, the whole planet, all people everywhere. And I'm going to combine our loving kindness meditation, that format, with what we've learned about belonging, the pillars of belonging. So you'd like to hold onto your arms like a hug, or place your hands stacked on your heart space, or wherever you'd like to be. Find that body position now. And we'll begin. May I feel welcomed. May I feel known. May I feel included. May I feel supported. May I feel connected. May you feel welcomed. May you feel known. May you feel included and supported. May you feel connected. May all people everywhere, every person, every being feel welcomed and known. May they be included and supported. May all people everywhere, every person, every being feel connected. Let's start to introduce movement back in the body. We're going to take a big breath in through the nose and exhale it out with a big sigh. Ah. Inhaling, big breath in, a loud or, definitely audible sound. Ah. You can keep breathing in that way as you get your feet back to the floor. And start to make your adjustments now so that you can be seated and you find once again a place of right alignment. Remember this shape that we've created? It looks like a scarecrow. We have two bent elbows. Wrap one arm around behind you and let the front arm wrap in front. And that front arm is going to help you turn. You're going to turn your head in this way to unravel any tension that might be still present in your neck. Breathe into it, feel your way into it, make the adjustments you might need to make. Come back to your kind of scarecrow position, switch arms so the new arm is in front and the different arm is behind, and we turn our head to release any tension on this side, letting go, softening through the neck. And the head comes back to neutral. Let's sync up our breath. Inhale, palms together overhead. Exhale, we bow at the heart. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, when we share this energy with our communities, let us connect to the feeling of being known. The feeling of being known and understood. How lovely is that? Palms will come to the prayer position at the heart. We bow to ourselves and we bow to one another. Namaste, my friends. And thank you for joining me.